My dear children, how are you? I hope you are fine. You are going to write your unit test 2 examination. Okay. Write your test very well, all the best students. Okay. And see children, and your maths exam question for unit test 2 is chapter 2 whole numbers, chapter 3 playing with numbers till thought. It means you have to revise the sum up to the last video which sum we have seen about the topic prime factorization. Okay, so up to the prime factorization you have to revise in the chapter 3 playing with numbers, and for the whole numbers you have to revise all the full chapter. Okay. And see here children, this is your question pattern. You are going to write your exam for 25 marks. Okay. See here, choose sum for 3 marks. Okay. So you have 3 questions. 3 into 1, 3. And fill-ups, 3 marks. 2 mark question, 4. That is you have to answer 2 mark question. 2 into 2, 4. And 3 marks. That is 5 3 marks. So 5 questions. 5 into 3, 15. So 4 plus 3, 7. 10 plus 15, 25. So totally you have to write the test for 25 marks. Okay. And you have to use blue ink pen to write the answers. Okay. Write the answer clearly. Avoid overwriting. Okay. And you have to use only pencil for rougher. Okay. Definitely you have to do the rougher for the sums which need. Okay. And you have to don't cut the steps children. Don't cut the steps. Do the sums elaborately. Okay. First, we are going to discuss the chapter whole numbers. Okay, we have already seen the chapter whole numbers. Now we are going to revise the chapter whole numbers. What are the concepts we have discussed in the chapter whole numbers? Successor and predecessor, operations on number line, properties of whole number, Bode-Morse rule for arithmetic expression. Okay. Successor and predecessor. You know this concept already. This will be successor, that is after number, and predecessor before number. Okay. For the given number, how can you find the successor? By adding 1 to the given number, you can easily find the successor. Similarly, by subtracting 1 from the given number, you can easily find the predecessor. Okay, because in your questions you have the big number, so do the calculation in the rough work and write the answers. Okay. Next, operations on number line. Operations on number line means what are the operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. In your classes you have sums on based on the concept operations on number line. Okay, you have to revise that sums. Okay, refer your classes for this concept. And properties of whole number. Based on the properties of whole number, you have 1 mark in your question paper. Okay. Now we are going to first discuss the properties of whole number, and then we will discuss the Bode-Morse rule. Okay. What are the properties we have seen? Closure property, commutative property, associative property, identity, distributive property. Okay. We are discussing such a property based on the fundamental operations. What are the operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay. For these operations only we are discussing this property. First one is closure property, and second one is commutative property, and then associative, and then identity, and then distributive property. Okay. Based on these properties, in your question paper you have only 1 marks. Okay. So you have to refer your homework number 10 questions. Okay. In homework number 10 you have fully 1 mark questions based on the concept of properties of whole numbers. So you have to thorough that 1 marks. Okay. First we are going to discuss some important points in the properties of whole numbers. Okay. We have already seen the closure property. Okay. You have to refer your class for this closure property. Next we are going to see commutative property. See here children. First we are taking if A, B and C are any 3 whole numbers. We are taking A, B, C 3. B, C, B, any 3 whole numbers. For these 3 whole numbers, we give the relation like this. That is A plus B equal to B plus A. Okay. What is the name of this property? The name of this property is commutative property under addition. Okay. In your question paper, the question will come. They give the relation and as dash property under dash. So you have to write commutative addition. Okay. For competitive, you have to take only two elements, A, B. Okay, if you add A with B or B with A, they give same answer. Next, see here children, here we have plus, here we have multiplication. So, A into B is always equal to B into A. So, we can call this relation as commutative property under, here we are using the operation multiplication. So, here we have to write multiplication. Here see, here we have used addition, so here we written addition. Okay, very clear children? See the next one. A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. See here in this property we have taken three elements. Three elements means I have always told associative property or distributive property. The difference between associative and distributive property is, in associative property it has only one operation. For distributive property it has two operations. See here, it has take three elements but single operation. So it is associative property. See here, A plus B plus C, which is equal to A plus B plus C. Here we have the bracket for the first two elements. Here we have the bracket for the second and the third element. Such type of property is termed as associative property under addition. Why here we are writing addition? Because here we are using the operation addition. Okay. See the next one. Here instead of plus we are writing multiplication. So A into B into C is equal to A into B into C. So how can we call this property? Associative property under multiplication. We understand children? How can we call this? Associative property under multiplication. Okay, see the next one. Additive identity of whole number is 0. What is simply additive identity? If you add any number with that identity, you get that same number. For example, 5 plus 0. So what is your answer? 5. Similarly, 10 plus 0. What is your answer? 10. If you add any number with 0, you get that same number. So this number is termed as additive identity. Why we are calling this 0 as additive identity? Because here we are using the operation addition. So we are terming this as additive identity. So additive identity of whole number is dash. So what is your answer? 0. Okay, do you understand? See the next one. Multiplicative identity of whole number is dash 1. How do you call the 1 as a multiplicative identity? Because if you multiply any number with 1, you get the same number. 5 into 1, 5. Similarly, 10 into 1, 10. 0 into 1, 0. If you multiply any number with 1, you get the same number. Do you understand children? That's why we are calling this 1 as identity for the operation multiplication. So we call the 1 as multiplicative identity for whole numbers, and additive identity of whole number is 0. We clear children? Okay. Next we are going to see an important concept. See here children, if you multiply any number with 0, your answer is 0. See here, 45 into 0, the answer is 0. If you multiply any number with 0, your answer is 0. Always keep this in your mind children. Instead of 45, you can write any number 1 lakh or 1 crore. Into 0, your answer is 0 only. Okay, see the next one. Any number divided by 0. If you divide any number by 0, your answer is not defined. Okay, see here, 51 by 0 is not defined. Okay, so instead of 51, you write any number 735 by 0, which is equal to not defined. 1 by 0, which is equal to not defined. Do you understand? So any number divided by 0, your answer is not defined. Okay, I hope you understand this concept. Okay, next we are going to revise BODMAS rule. Why we are having the BODMAS rule? To simplify the arithmetic expression, we are following the BODMAS rule. BODMAS is a clue word to understand the operation. Okay, before seeing the BODMAS rule, let us recall the types of bracket. See here, what are the types of bracket we have seen? Vinculum, simple brackets, curly bracket, square brackets. If an arithmetic expression contains such bracket means First you have to evaluate vinculum and then simple and then curly and then square. Okay, we understand children? Okay. Now we are going to see about Bode-Morse rule. What is meant by Bode-Morse rule? If an arithmetic expression containing the four fundamental operations and also the bracket means you have to follow the Bode-Morse rule to evaluate that. Okay. B stands for, already you know, brackets, and O stands for of or order, and D stands for division, M for multiplication, A for addition, and S for subtraction. Let us see one sum based on the Bode-Morse rule. Okay, see here children, 7 plus 12 minus 6 plus 5 minus 3. Okay, we have to evaluate this arithmetic expression. Before evaluate this, you have to observe what are the operations involved in this question. Okay, see here, addition, subtraction. Okay, we have two operations. See here children, in this question we have four types of brackets. Okay, what are the brackets? See here, vinculum, simple brackets, curly brackets and square brackets. So in this question we have four types of brackets. So according to the Bode-Morse rule, to solve this expression, first you have to evaluate bracket and then of and then division and then multiplication and then addition and then subtraction. But in this question there is no of, no division, no multiplication. So first we are going to evaluate bracket and then we come to addition and then subtraction. Okay, see here. First see which brackets we have to evaluate first. As per the order of brackets, first you have to evaluate vinculum. Okay, under the bracket vinculum we have two numbers. What are they? 5 and 3. 5 and 3 in which operation? Subtraction. So you have to subtract the 3 from 5. So what is your answer? 5 minus 3, 2. Thus we have evaluated the first bracket vinculum. Okay, next we have to evaluate simple bracket. So within the simple bracket we have two numbers. What are they? 6 and 2. They are in the operation of addition. So you have to add the two numbers. 6 plus 2. What is your answer? 8. In this step, children, listen carefully. You may use the bracket or you may write the answer straightly 8. Okay. There is no need to put the bracket here. For your understanding purpose, I am putting the bracket here. Okay. There is nothing wrong to write in this step. Okay. See here. 6 plus 2, what is your answer? 8. Thus we have evaluated the simple bracket also. Next we have to evaluate the curly bracket. So to evaluate this curly bracket, you have to remove the bracket of, you have to remove this simple bracket. So you have to write it as 12 minus 8. Okay. See here, 7 plus 12 minus 8. That is, within the curly bracket, we have two numbers. They are 12 and 8 with the operation subtraction. So subtract the 8 from 12. What is your answer? 4. You have to write the 4 in the curly bracket for your understanding. So 7 plus 4. Thus we have evaluated the curly bracket also. Next we have to evaluate the square bracket. So within the square bracket we have two numbers, 7 plus 4. In order to add this, we have to remove this curly bracket. So write it as 7 plus 4. So what is your answer? 11. Okay, do you understand children? Thus we have evaluated this expression by following the Bode-Morse rule. Next see this sum children. Simplify. That is, you have to simplify this sum by using Bode-Morse rule. See the first sum, 35 minus 15 plus 27 minus 7. See this question children. In this question we have two brackets. Both are same type of bracket, that is simple bracket. So you can evaluate both the brackets simultaneously. That is, you have to subtract 15 from 35 as well as 7 from 27. You get two answers and then you have to add the two answers. Do you understand? See the next sum. In this sum also you have two brackets. Both are same type of brackets, that is simple bracket. So you can evaluate both the brackets simultaneously. See here, 5 into 7 you get one answer, 2 into 5 you get one answer, and then you have to subtract the two answers. Okay. See the next one. Similarly, this sum also. Here you have the two numbers with addition. Here you have the two numbers numbers with subtraction. So you can evaluate both the bracket simultaneously. You get two answers. After that you have to multiply that answer. Okay. See the next one. In this question, see the observe the operations in the question: division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. You have four types of operation as well as one bracket. But according to the Boltzmann rule, first we have to evaluate bracket. So within the bracket we have 144 divided by 6. So in the rougher you have to divide the 144 by 6, and then here you have to write the quotient. Okay. After that you have to multiply, and then you have to perform the addition, and then you have to perform the subtraction, because according to the Boltzmann rule, first you have to evaluate the bracket. So we have to evaluate the bracket first, and then you have to perform off. Here we don't have off, and then you have to perform division. Already within the bracket we are going to evaluate the division. So next you have to evaluate multiplication, and then addition, and then subtraction. See the last sum. In this question you have vinculum, simple bracket, and then square bracket. So first you have to evaluate vinculum. First you have to always evaluate vinculum, and then simple, and then curly, and then square bracket. Do you understand? After evaluating the brackets, you have to go for the operations. Okay. Here first we have to evaluate the vinculum. Under the vinculum bracket, we have two numbers under the operation subtraction. So you have to subtract first. After that you get one answer, you have to write the answer. Next you have to evaluate the simple bracket. After you have to evaluate the square bracket. So both this process you have two answers, and then you have to subtract the two answers. Okay. You have to repeat the sums. You have to repeatedly do the sums in a rough work until you thorough that sum. Okay. Next we are going to see the chapter 3, playing with number. Okay. In this chapter, what are the concepts we have seen already? Multiples of a number, factors of a number, even and odd numbers, prime and composite numbers, divisibility test, prime factorization. These are the concepts we have discussed in this chapter, playing with numbers. So you have to thorough up to this prime factorization. Okay, for your unit test 2. Okay. How can you find the multiples of a number? By multiplying the given number by natural number, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, according to the question they are asking. Suppose they are asking 5 multiples, means you have to multiply the given number by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If they are asking 10 multiples, means you have to multiply the given number by 10. That is 1, 2, 3, up to 10 you have to multiply the given number and write the answer as the multiples of a given number. Okay. Next you know already how to write the factors of a given number. How can you write the factors of a given number? By writing a given number as a product of some other numbers. Okay. You have to write all the possible ways. After that you have to write the factors of a given number in ascending order. Okay. Next we are going to see even and odd numbers. Okay. What are the important things you have to remember about the even and odd numbers? Let us see. What is mean by even numbers? The numbers which are divisible by 2 are said as even number. Also we can explain the number which are paired into 2s are said to be even numbers. Okay. How can you identify the given number as a even number? Let us see. Unit place digits of even numbers are. By seeing a number, we can say it is an even number. Okay, how can we say? If the last digit of a given number is 0 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8, we can say the number is an even number. For example, 72. What is the last digit? 2. So the number ends in 0 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8, you can say the number is an even number. So 72 is an even number. Similarly, we can give example for all the numbers. Okay. Next we are going to see odd numbers. How can you say it is a given number is a odd number? What is meant by odd number, children? If a number is not divisible by 2. Otherwise, if a number is not paired into 2s are said to be odd numbers. How can you find the given number is a odd number? Unit place digits of odd numbers are. By seeing a number, we can say it is an odd number. How? If the last digit of a given number is 1 or 3 or 5 or 7 or 9, then we can say the number is an odd number. See this, 31. What is the last digit? 1. So it is a odd number. See here 27. What is the last digit? 7. So it is a even number. So the number ends with 1 or 3 or 5 or 7 or 9. We can say that number is a odd number. Okay, keep these things in your mind. Okay. Next we are going to see very important concept, prime numbers. Always you have to remember these prime numbers and composite numbers because you have this concept in your higher classes also. So thorough this concept very well now itself. Okay. What is meant by prime numbers? If a number is divisible by 1 and itself are said to be prime numbers. Otherwise, if a number having only two factors, what are the factors? One of the factor is 1 and other factor is the itself the number. Suppose if you are saying the number 5 means, what are the factors of 5? 1 and 5. It has only two factors. So such numbers are said to be prime numbers. Do you understand, children? Okay. What is meant by composite numbers? Numbers having more than two factors. Numbers having more than two factors are said to be composite numbers. Otherwise, numbers having minimum 3 factors are said to be composite numbers. Also, we can say numbers which are not prime are composite number. Do you understand, children? Numbers which are not prime are composite number. And there is only one exception case, that is 1. 1 is neither prime nor composite. You have to remember this. 1 is neither prime nor composite. Definitely this question come in your unit test 2. So definitely you have to remember this. 1 is neither prime nor composite. It means what? 1 is not a prime number. 1 is not a composite number. Okay. See here. Here we have written the first 10 prime numbers and first 10 composite numbers. Okay, I have already told the number which are not prime are composite and 1 is neither prime nor composite. So 1 did not come in the prime number column as well as in the composite column. Okay, so first prime number is 2. Also the speciality of 2 is it is also a even number. So the only even prime number is 2. Which is the only even prime number? 2. Okay, see here. The first prime number is 2 and first composite number is 4. How we are writing 4? How we write the 4 here? Because 2, 3. What is the next number? 4. 4 is not a prime number. So it is a composite number. 5. 5 is a prime number. 6. 6 is not a prime number. So it is a composite number. 7. 7 is not a composite number. So it is a prime number. 8. 8 is not a prime number. So it comes in the composite. So similarly we are writing. So what are the first 10 prime numbers? See here. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23 and 29. You have to always keep these things in your mind. Okay, you have to memorize these numbers always. Okay, what are the first 10 prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23 and 29. Okay, which is the smallest composite number? See here, 4 is the smallest composite number. And what are the first 10 composite numbers? See here, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 and 18. These are the first 10 composite numbers. Okay, I hope you have understand the concept even numbers, odd numbers, prime numbers and composite numbers. Okay. Next we are moving to the divisibility test. Okay, why we are having the divisibility test? By seeing a number, we have to identify whether it is divisible by the 2, 3, 6 or 5 or 10 or 11. Okay, for that only we are having the divisibility test. Okay, first we are going to discuss about divisibility by 2. How can we say the given number is divisible by 2? All the even numbers are divisible by 2. All the even numbers are divisible by 2. Okay. How can you find an even number? A number ends with 0 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8. It is a even number. So whether it is a even number, we can easily say it is divisible by 2. Do you understand? Next we are going to see divisible by 3. How can you check whether the given number is divisible by 3 or not? by adding the given number. That is, suppose the given question is 27, means 127. Okay. Now we are going to check whether this number is divisible by 3 or not. For that, you have to sum the digits. Sum the digits means you have to add the given number. So 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 1, 10. So this number 10 is not divisible by 3. So we can say this number is not divisible by 3. That is, we can say 127 is not divisible by 3. Okay. Suppose in the question they are giving like this, 270. Okay. Now we are going to sum the digits. So 2 plus 7 plus 0. What is your answer? 9. But the 9 is divisible by 3. So in that case, we can say the 270 is divisible by 3. I hope you understand. Next, we are going to see divisibility by 6. How can you say the given number is divisible by 6? If the given number is divisible by both 2 as well as 3, we can say that number is divisible by 6. Do you understand? For example, I am writing 12. See here, it is an even number. So it is divisible by 2. Add the digit 1 plus 2, 3. So 3 is divisible by 3. So 12 is divisible by 3. Thus, the 12 is divisible by both 2 and 3. So we can say 12 is divisible by 6. Do you understand, children? Okay. Next, we are going to see divisibility by 5. How can we say the given number is divisible by 5 if a number ends with 0 or 5? That is, otherwise we can say the unit digits of a given number is 0 or 5, then the number is divisible by 5. Do you understand, children? For example, 375. What is the last digit we have? In the last digit we have 5. So it is ends with 5. So we can say it is divisible by 5. If you divide this number by 5, you definitely get the remainder as 0. Let us see one more example. 123. See the last digit. Last digit is 3. It is not 0 or 5. So we can say it is not divisible by 5. Suppose I am adding 0 to the number. See what is the last digit now? 0. Now you can say it is divisible by 5. Do you understand, children? Next we are going to see divisibility by 10. It is very easy test. If a number ends with 0, otherwise we can say the last digit is 0, then we can say that number is divisible by 10. For example, 43. What is the last digit? 3. So it is not a 0. So we can say 43 is not divisible by 10. Suppose I am adding 0 to this number. Now the number is 430. What is the last digit now? 0. Now you can say it is divisible by 10. Do you understand, children? Okay. Next we are going to see divisibility by 11. How can we say the given number is divisible by 11? You have to find the sum of odd place and then you have to find the sum of even place. You get two sums and then you have to find the difference of the two sums. If the answer is 0 or 11 or multiples of 11 means, then we can say that given number is divisible by 11. Okay. What are the important divisibility tests are divisibility 5, divisibility 3 and divisibility 2. These are the important divisibility tests. So you have to thorough these tests, 3 tests compulsory. Okay. Next we are going to see the concept prime factorization. Okay. What is meant by prime factorization? To find the prime factors of a given number is said to be prime factorization. Okay. What are called the prime factors? If the factors of a given numbers are prime number means, then we can say that factors are prime numbers. Do you understand, children? If the factors of a given number are prime means, then we can say that factors are prime numbers. Okay. In the process of prime factorization, what we are doing is we are going to find the prime factors of a given number. Okay. Let us see one example how to find the prime factors of a given number. For the process of prime factorization, you have only used the prime numbers only. What are the prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Okay. Now we are going to find the prime factors of the number 72. It is n with 2. So it is an even number. So it is divisible by 2. So first I am dividing the 72 by 2. So my divisor is 2. Further I am writing the 2 table. So this is 2 table and this is the answer. In this answer part you have to write only this times. This part only you have to write in the answer part. Okay, remember this. You have to write these numbers in the answer part. Okay, this is the table and this is the answer. Okay, first step is you have to choose the first number. See what is here? 7. 7 is bigger than 2. So you have to enough up to it. And you have to observe whether the 7 comes in the answer part. It is not up in the answer part. So you go with the number which is next to smaller to 7. Which is the number smaller to 7? 6. 6 comes in 2 table. How many times? 3 times. So here you have to write this time only because here we have the table, here we have the answer. So here you have to write only the times. So here we are writing 3. So 3 2s are 6. Now you have to separate the 6 from 7. So 7 minus 6, what is your remainder? 1. Now you have to write the remainder 1 before to the 2. Before to the next number. Next number here is 2. So here we are writing the 1. Now you have to read the number 2 as 12. They understand children? Now you have to read this number as 12. So now we are going to check 12 comes in 2 table. How many times? How many times? 6 times. Here we have the answer. Here we have the table. So here we have to write on the times. So here we are writing the times 6. 6 2s are 12. They understand? 3 2s are 6. By subtracting 6 from 7, the remainder is 1. We are writing the 1 here. Now we have to read the 2 as 12. 12 comes how many times? 6 times. Here you have to write 6. Do you understand? Again we get an even number. So you have to divide the number by 2. Divide this number by 2. First you have to choose one digit. 3 is bigger than 2. So you have to stop up to this. Check here. We don't have 3. So we go to the next number which is smaller to 3. So you have to choose the answer for 2. 2 comes in 2 table how many times? 1 time. So here you have to write 1 time. By subtracting 2 from 3 you get the remainder 1. You have to write 1 here like this. Now you have to read the 6 as 16. 16 comes how many times? 8 times. So here you have to write 8. See here 1 2 is 2, remainder 1. 1 with 6, 16. 16 comes 8 times. So your answer is 18. Again we got an even number. So you have to divide it by 2 as well as 3 also because 1 plus 8, what is your answer? 9. 9 is divisible by 3. So 18 is also divisible by 3. See here children, 18. 3 I am dividing. So how many times? 6 3s are 18. Again I am dividing it by 3. 2 3s are 6. Divided by 2, 1. This way also you can see here. You can also do here. Okay, now what I am choosing here? 2. Okay, see here 2. 2 comes, 18 comes in 2 table. How many times? 9 times. So here I am writing 9 2s are 18. In this case, we are selecting 2 digit 18. Why we are selecting 2 digits? Because the first digit is 1 is not enough. Because here we have the divisor 2. So the number 1 is smaller than 2. So we are choosing the 2 digit 18. Do you understand? So 9 2s are 18. Again we got the number 9. It is divisible by 3 only because it is not yet even number. Now I am choosing my division as 3. So 3 3s are 9. 3 divided by 3 only because it is a prime number. Thus I got the answer. See here. How do you write answer? 72 equal to how many 2s? 1 2 3 2s. 2 into 2 into 2. How many 3s? 2 3s. So your answer is 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3. These are the prime factors of 72. Similarly, you have to find the prime factors of some other numbers also. Okay, practice well and write your exam very well. Do the sum very neatly and clearly and score the good marks in your unit test too. All the best children. Thank you.